Attack ad mania 13 days ahead of the North Carolina primary. Just hours ago, a conservative group releasing this ad hammering both Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. All right, it was a pretty nasty ad. I'll get to the details as we discuss with my next guest. Floyd Brown is the man behind it. He is the president of the National Campaign Fund. And Floyd, the rap against the ad, and I hope to show it very shortly, is that there's implied racism in it. And equating a lot of the riots that were going on in Chicago and the uprisings in Chicago with a city councilman at the time, a state senator at the time, Barack Obama at the time, with having any ability to deal with that. Is that fair?
That's not fair at all, Neil. In fact, it's a bunch of bunk. And if you look at the polling results real carefully, what you'll find is that the racism that exists inside the Democratic primary voters. In fact, if you analyze the vote from Pennsylvania real closely, what you're going to see is a lot of those Hillary voters voted against Barack just because he was black. You don't see that same kind of racism in the Republican Party.
Okay, but the rap against the ad, Floyd, is that it's implied racism, is it?
Yeah, it's not.
So what are you trying to say?
What
are you trying to say in the ad?
Well, in the coin ad, we're talking about taxes, and we're talking about licenses for illegal aliens. In the other ad that I released, the victims ad, we talk about victims, several of which were African American, and this is a serious issue, crime. You can't say every time you talk about crime, you're talking about racism. Not all criminals are black and not all criminals are white, but victims are both black and white. This isn't racism. This is about an important issue where Barack Obama has had no leadership, the crime issue.
All right, so what some are charging for it, I think I hear the gist of their argument, is that you are implying, since he was presumably ineffective at dealing with some of these issues in his own home turf, how could he deal with guys meaning us harm, I guess terrorists? It's a bit of a leap, don't you think?
I don't think so at all. What you have is a pattern of weakness, a pattern of a man who hasn't been able to stand up against tough situations. I mean, just this past weekend, Neil, in Chicago, we saw 6 people killed and over 31 injured. People were stabbed. This is like Baghdad. And he was the state senator there, and he didn't do anything to clean it up. And I think it's a legitimate issue. Okay,
now have any of the McCain people, Floyd, talked to you as they did my last guest, Brent Woodcox, and told you pull this ad?
First of all, Neil, that would be a violation of campaign rules.
I know that, but in the case, it wasn't a violation of them sending a letter to the prior guest. So did they do anything like that with you?
No. And why in the world would they try to violate the law? I don't see. The Congress has made it very clear. Independent campaigns are not to be coordinated at all with a major presidential campaign. Absolutely, but they can voice frustration with an ad that they think might speak for them when they say that it does not. So no one, let me just say, no one from the McCain campaign has contacted you or expressed frustration or opposition to that. Neil, that would be a violation of the current campaign finance laws.
Well, then they violated it with my last guest because they told him take the ad down.
Well, he's with the Republican Party. I'm not. I'm with an independent committee. I don't have anything to do with their campaign, and so I don't expect to be getting any kind of letter or communication from them because that would be a clear violation of the law.
All right, Floyd Brown, thank you very much.